Okay, I want to go through manufacturing specification. It's the one part that we haven't been through in all my three Year 11 GCSE groups. So what does it involve? Well, it's a large table, and the table looks at what you need to do in order to manufacture a specific product. And so the manufacturing specification doesn't just involve this, although this has the title. It should also involve the CAD drawings that you've done in regards to the technical drawings, for example, the isometric orthographic drawings, which display exactly what that casing should look like. All right, so let's go. You need to produce yourself a table, and in that table, you've got a variety of different headings. First one would just be the steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I reckon you need about 30 in total. The next one you don't need to put in, but it's sort of like the area that you're going to focus on. So, for example, on this one, I'm focusing on my PCB manufacture. And that PCB manufacturer is going to start off with the light box and the etching, and then probably the population of different components into the board. After that, you've got your on and off board components, and finally you've got the debugging. So, it's probably actually going to go on further than that. That's a pretty brief PCB manufacture, but I'm just showing that you can have that as a grouped number of cells, which will make it sort of clear. And with that, for example, you might want to shade that in a particular colour. And so when I'm looking at it, it looks a little bit more jazzy and it's easier to understand. So once you've done that, you've done the area, then we're looking at the next section, which is the task. The task is, what exactly am I going to be doing? Well, I'm going to be developing or exposing my PCB in the light box. I'm also going to be etching the PCB, so of course in that you should have also had the developing as well. And you just write a few words about that. Yeah, a few words, not a lot. Once you've done that, you then go on to explain what exactly you need to do. And with that, I probably would do bullet points. So the first one would be all about the printing of your mask and then the exposing of that in the light box. Second one would be the mixing of chemicals, making sure that you're using the correct chemicals, correct ratios. And once you've done that, the time it's going to take for the image to be exposed, washing that off, and then of course the etching the tape. So that wants to be explained. The next section speaks for itself. Tools and equipment. Tools and equipment are light box, etching tank, developing solution, things like that. And that again should just be bullet pointed as you're going down. So very quickly you can refer back to these, and to a certain extent it does get a little bit repetitive. What do we have here? We have health and safety requirements. So that might be things like wearing goggles. Certainly, if you're going to be using the developing solution, it should be wearing nitrile gloves. It's going to be wearing an apron. If you're going to be using the etching tank, or if you're coming into the laboratory generally, be pulling back long hair if you were to have long hair. So yeah, that's your health and safety. Just specifying why you're having to use. Hello, Jersey. Just doing a video. You're having to use certain health and safety, or PPE as we call it. Next one, quality assurance. Quality assurance is what you can do to make sure that your practical task is successful first time. So, for example, if we're thinking about this, we could make sure that the light box is closed correctly. We can make sure that all of the containers are clean before we mix up the ratios of the developing solution. We can make sure the developing solution is new, and we can make sure the ratios are correct. We can make sure that the tank is up to temperature. There's another quality control, and make sure that the PCBs left in the developing solution, just moving back, for the right amount of time, and then is cleaned with water afterwards. Once we take it out the tank, we can make sure that we wash it off to stop it etching. So there's a series of things we can do to make sure it's going to work first time, and of course then we've got the wild wool after that. So that's a series of quality assurance tasks that you need to complete to make sure that your product works properly first time. Words out. Right. Last one is the easy one. Prediction of time. How long is it going to take you? 1 hour, for example. And so this should go down. This should be about 30 tasks over a couple of pages, and is, boys, thank you very much. And really, it's not that difficult to do, but it will take a little bit of time. I hope that helps. Right, last of all, health and safety. If it's general things, like, for example, goggles, and then you might have apron in here, but it's one of these things which is repeated again and again and again and again and again. I've got no problem referring back to as per step 2. Yeah, if you want to write that in there, as step 2. That's great. All right, don't just do bullet points, explain your thinking. All right, boys, best of luck.